Primordial Radio.
Primordial Presents. It is the Upvote Top 10 at number 2 there. That is Cassiette with Petrica. And now we are going to get to this week's number 1. But before we play this week's number 1, I am absolutely delighted to be joined by one of the members of the band, that being Richard from Orbit Culture. Dude, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you. I'm doing good. It's an honor to have like this, like this high number. So that's fucking great.
Exactly. So I was explaining to Richard that the upvote, it's new. It's something we've been working on for the radio station for the past year, and we've always been, we launched the upvote because we were quite aghast at like how shitty the charts had become and the state of them really. And then so we did like a top 100 for a bit of fun like last year, and then we've sort of expanded on that further. So all of the votes that come in is entirely decided by the listenership of Primordial Radio. So holding on to their number 1 spot for a second week, yes, is Orbit Culture and Strangler. We are going to play that song very soon. But before that, dude, Richard, just want to check in and see how you're doing. So you're in a rehearsal space right now, getting ready for a gig.
Yeah, I am right now, actually. I'm sitting in like the studio room. The guys are just outside here, like rehearsing their instruments for full. We have a gig the 4th of December here in Sweden.
Cool.
So that's what we're doing.
Nice. And how is everything with the band? Because it seems like there's been a lot of things happening behind the scenes. Of course, there was the tour with Thy Art Is Murder that was going to be in the UK, and then I saw that, you changed booking agencies and stuff. It feels like there's a lot of things happening behind the scenes with the band that is ultimately going to be setting yourselves up for a lot of things next year.
Yeah. Things are starting to happening for sure. But we cannot, let people know yet. It's going to be... But I think people is going to think it's pretty huge. So hopefully, if everything, goes okay with all this COVID shit and everything, hopefully we're going to have a blast next year.
Yeah, because I was looking at some of your previous tour dates, and it looked like the last time you were in the UK was maybe like 2017, 18, something like that.
Yeah. It was with the Rivers on Hill tour. So
what are your memories of that tour?
It's pretty black, we drank beer for 16 days, I think. So no, we had a great time. It was such a great time, and all those bands that we went with was Rivers on Hill, us, Black Crown Initiate, and Mole, the Danish band.
Yes, and we've been loving Mole on the station. Their album Diorama is fantastic. It's so good,
and they're great. They are great dudes as well. And the whole tour was so special because everybody got so good together. We had no issues at all, so that was fucking great. So we had a real good first experience.
Yeah. And you say first experience, and I was talking about this on air recently, and that I feel like that was obviously an introduction to Orbit Culture in the UK. But since then, even though there's been a pandemic, I feel like the next time you come to the UK, there's a lot more people that are familiar with you now that weren't when you did that tour, and it feels like that excitement is really there for when you do finally are able to come over. Does it feel like that from your perspective as a band? Yeah, I mean,
almost every country feels like that right now, since the last time was our first European/UK tour. So coming, if I can't say too much, but what will happen, I think, as you said, a lot of more people know what's coming now. And we are not, I mean, we're still kind of noobs on the whole thing, but still we made one tour, so hopefully it's going to get a lot better.
And I know you can't say...
I can promise you guys it's going to get better.
I know you can't say too much, and that's totally fine. But I'm just going to prize ever so slightly on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. How big is the stuff you are working on right now, getting ready for next year? How big are we talking?
Oh, damn. I don't know if this is going to bite my ass later. But
I don't think so. There's no detail.
No. But one thing, if everything, if everything comes through, that's really big for us. I mean,
I think that was an 8, folks. I think Richard was saying that was a good 8.
I mean, for us, it's really big. So hopefully,
Amazing,
hopefully.
amazing. So whilst you've been doing all this, though, the new EP Shaman is out now. Was that a case with the EP where you had, you know, I don't want to call it leftover music, but almost like, you know, there's so much extra time that you know, you had extra music there that you wanted to get out?
I mean, Nicholas, who is the main writer and writes almost everything, he you know, he has a lot of songs in a big, like, long project. So it's usually comes down to, you know, we choose some of the tracks that we really like, and then maybe the new like Fight of the Fireflies, that was a typical song like that. He had that riff for like years and years, but he never used it. And I told him, we need this riff because I really like it. It's like we said before, it's kind of that Gothenburg metal sound, and so that's how that song went on this EP instead. You know, instead of using it before.
Yeah.
I'm almost the same when I'm writing songs. You know, you can have like a song for years on your computer, but it takes those years to make it really good, that you're, you know, feeling proud enough to release it.
Yeah. And, you know,
I wouldn't say leftover songs, because I think all of them are really good, you know. And
it's kind of finding its place. You know, you might write a riff at one point, but as you say, it doesn't quite fit in then, but it will do in time.
Exactly.
Ultimately. And we've had a lot of great reaction to your songs on the station, particularly from the album Nisha. But, you know, Strangler really has cut through, and, you know, I think that riff,
that's awesome.
And there's just a great, you know, when I listen to that song, it just feels like there's such an epic feel to Strangler. So just tell us a little bit more about the song Strangler.
Yeah, the song Strangler, it's almost, as you can hear, it's like straightforward live song. That's how we wanted it to sound, and that's what it became. You know, it's so easy to, you know, to feel that, you know, that it's an easy song for the whole band, actually. So it's going to be a cool live performance, and it's going to be easy to sing along to. And that was like the main whole reason to make that song.
It feels like it's Orbit Culture's like, fun song. It's like, cool. This is like our 4-minute fun banger that we get to do. Here we go.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be easy for people to learn the lyrics for you know, the chorus line and stuff. So.
Yes, there's those great sing-along moments. And I can see why it's cut through so much. So we are going to do this now, holding on to the #1 spot for a second week in a row, as voted for by you. This is Orbit Culture, your #1 this week with Strangler. Richard, thank you so much, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Primordial Radio.